Welcome to Movie and a Beer, everybody. This is Dan bringing us in, and we have a really cool foreign film that we're going to talk about on today's episode. And we have some regulars and awesome friends hanging out with us at the table today.
Yes. Thanks for joining, listener. This is Aaron. I'm your snow expert. Not to be confused with sleet, ice, rain, hail, black ice, freezing rain.
He knows his weather.
Snow. Only snow.
Sleet.
No, only snow.
Only snow.
Only snow.
Gotcha. I'm Blake. I'm your language expert. We'll eventually get to English.
We will.
Dan couldn't find the English subtitles on this movie, and
It's a Chinese film, and it was funny.
Hackling with laughter. It was the highlight of my day.
How many different languages do you think?
At least French, Polish, and Russian.
Oh,
we went through 12 different subtitle languages.
Beautiful.
And I'm just going to download
Hey,
them.
Dan, I'm the expert. We went through 12.
Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Brian. I am your gross severed hand expert.
Ooh.
Wow, that's really insensitive.
Running
Dan
around.
just had that accident.
I know, right? So embarrassing.
So what are we
prosthetic
watching
looks cool.
tonight, Dan?
We watched the 2021 film out of China called Yinyang Master. Not to be confused with the one that has a hyphen between yin and yang. This is just Yinyang Master.
And not to be
as one
confused
word.
with the rap group Yinyang Twins,
Correct.
because we didn't whistle while we twerked.
Correct. So this is a movie that is based on a book, and then based on a mobile game, and then based on other film franchises.
Wait, the book is based on the mobile game? I
Yeah.
feel like maybe
No,
it's
the
all
mobile
part of the
game-
same IP.
Well, so it's all part of the kind of the same thing, but
I want to read the book.
Onmyoji is Onmyoji is the name of the mobile game, which is also the name of the book. And this is about Chinese mythology. This is the human and the demon realm. Many centuries ago, they coexisted, and now they don't. They got split up because someone tried to take everybody over, as it goes in most historical.
It does happen a lot in grand mythological texts.
I mean, every parent has had to separate if they got more than one kid. Keep them separated if they...
And the Offspring wrote that song, "You Got to Keep Them Separated."
Well, yeah, that was about like schoolyard fights.
Gang violence, technically, yeah.
Got to keep them separated.
I thought it was about dogs.
I mean, the music video showed a lot of... I should have been I'm your Offspring expert. The Offspring expert. The music video had a bunch of images and visuals of like violence to enhance the idea of just like the whole song's about like gang violence and fighting each other. They're from Southern California. There's a lot of gangs down there.
Wait, you mean Come Out and Play wasn't like literal?
I think Come Out and Play was like the gang saying, "Come on, homies, let's do this," and they'd shoot each other.
I was being funny. It was
We're
hilarious.
digressing. We're
I know.
digressing a little bit.
So we have
you
this
can cut
movie,
all of this. It's fine.
Monsters and
And
Humans.
currently,
have-
you can watch it on Netflix.
You can watch this film on Netflix, which is important to tell our audience. So yeah, we had a couple of beers along the way that we had stopped earlier today at the wonderful beer mongers down in Southeast Portland. We had a Czech style lager called Altar of Light from Ruse Brewing here in Portland. And the second up was a Rain Shadow Dark Lager from Single Hill out in Yakima, Washington. We'll talk about those in a little bit, but this is a 2-hour film. And it's all CG. There's some practical scenes and some practical effects and some wire work that's done.
Dan feels me staring into his eyes, ready to correct
It's
him.
a lot of CG.
There's
It
a
looks
lot.
good.
It looks okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it looks phenomenal and like realistic. I kept asking half as a bit, half occasionally, was this a CG like landscape shot or not? But I've watched every Marvel movie, and some of the later ones where they rushed them. It's not. This is better than that. Like this is smooth. You can tell what's happening.
You're setting your bar low.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's worse CGI out there. Like that's not really like that's kind of faint praise.
This is better than Scorpion King. This is way better than Scorpion King.
Well, that's just bad.
That looks like PlayStation 1
But
graphics.
we're kind of missing the boat.
Yeah,
Getting
okay.
the
What's
cart
this-
ahead of the horse.
So, listener,
Was this film any good?
this was an entertaining
Yeah,
romp.
I give it 2
part-
thumbs up. We're at the rating part. Sorry.
That's our heartwarming. But yeah, so listener, without spoiling, because I think all of us did enjoy watching this movie, and probably all going to encourage you to watch it or check it out. Also, there's a disturbance between the monster realm and the human realm, and there's I don't know, we call it subterfuge. There's some plans afoot. Somebody's trying
Betrayal.
to
Sabotage.
undo some of the old ancient seals that keep the monsters
Trying
in
to
the
connect the two so they can take over both realms.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so we have a couple of plucky heroes, I think we might say. one of which has to kind of
a band of brothers, as you would
wrestle with his own heritage and wrestle with his own fate. And then the others, I feel like, are a little bit more clear cut. Like there's one character where it's really kind of
the first one you're referring to. You talking about?
I'm trying real hard to not do this with spoilers.
No, I'm saying the name.
So Qing Ming.
Just trying to give a name. Are you talking about Qing Ming, or are you talking about Yuan Boya?
I'm talking about Qing Ming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Qing Ming has to wrestle, I think, with
inner demons,
and has to find his own path. So for him, it's kind of like man versus self in a way.
Right.
And then for a lot of the other characters, it's sort of like man versus other.
Well, you see why I was confused, because Yuan Boya, I apologize for how I'm pronouncing these. I'm probably way off.
Hey, all our Mandarin sucks.
Yuan Boya also has a similar, he has to figure out what his purpose is. That's why I wasn't sure if you're talking about him or Qing Ming. But yeah, he has a similar, like, no home, trying to just...
Yeah.
Has a task, tries to complete it, and then at some point it's like, I'm not sure what I should be doing.
But he never doubts what side he's on.
I feel like he does briefly.
Sometimes he doubts.
Maybe I'm confusing with he's just confused a lot.
I feel like
he's unsure how he fulfills his role.
Yeah,
he's kind of a straight man amongst all the very
and his female protagonist friend, her whole quest is figuring out what purpose she actually serves.
Well, she's dedicated to this master.
But she actually serves a different master, I would argue.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're wondering what the heck we're talking about, so this is Chinese.
I'm wondering what the heck we're talking about.
Chinese mythology.
We have explained this so poorly.
The movie enters with the main character. He's growing up in this temple to become a guard to protect the stone that kind of holds the demon's powers, the scale stone.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's protected. There's magics, and they defend it against the demons that want to take it and free the guy who was trying to take over the whole everything.
Yeah,
who's a really big bad. So as long as they destroyed the body, but his spirit and his energy are still trapped in the stone, which they're guarding is in the temple. And there's some trickery going on, and it gets stolen. And they're wondering how that could be. Mm-hmm. And the main character just has to bail because he's set up to look like he's the one that did it, but he didn't.
I mean, they do eventually reveal in a very, I think in a really like fun way to reveal it to the audience bit by bit. Here's what happened at the scene that you think, oh, you know what happened.
Right.
Here's another viewpoint. Oh, maybe I didn't know what happened. Another viewpoint. Yeah. Oh my God, that's what happened. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, the pivotal scene of the film we see 3 times or 4?
3. I want to say 3.
And there are 3 main characters, so we kind of
holy crap!
It's that thing where we see from each of their perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They each tell their story.
Yeah, the love interest who becomes the head of the guard.
Chief,
the protagonist who runs away, and he can't live in the monster world, but he can't live in the human world because he's banished from both, because he won't acknowledge his human side or his demon side. He just plays both.
He becomes a roaming
Robin Hood.
A roaming Robin Hood. As I kept telling these guys, even though they kept telling me to stop, a blue-green commander creature for Magic the Gathering.
Oh my God, Blake, stop.
He makes beast tokens.
Yes, he does. He has familiars. He has
creates
cool
treasures.
Dudes. He does. He does cool spells that are kind of fun.
But there's kind of like 3 poles here. Like there's the human realm, which you might associate with being good, I guess traditionally, if we're thinking like high fantasy, good versus evil. There's the monster realm, which is associated with draconian power and kind of evil. And then there's this third place that's more like nature magic. And I think
the Fey realm.
Yeah, where the rules are different. Your words are super important and can bind you. And it's not necessarily good. It's not necessarily evil. It's kind of this trickster Fey.
Trying to keep the world in balance a little bit.
Right.
No, I would argue that at one point they do go to a portion of the monster realm. It was just like a big market. It felt more like the second Hellboy movie where you see strange creatures and you're not used to it, but no one was being actively awful.
I mean,
Evil. Yeah, it was
Just
chaos.
it's just where
they
they
were
But it
were.
also had the arena.
yeah, I was gonna say they're eating live animals in
mean-
the market, and then there's an arena where they fight to the death.
Okay.
Like,
Humans do that.
And they eat stuff that's
Yeah.
excremented from other creatures.
They do that in Futurama.
I know, all the time.
Fry can't stop drinking this stuff.
I know.
But no, I see what you're saying, Aaron. I just wanted to point out, I don't think that it was. I get what the tropes are, like good, evil, middle ground.
yeah,
But I feel like this movie did a better job than I expected to throw some nuance into each of them. Like the human side had a lot of people who just refused to listen to anyone's reason and said, well, no, we said you're wrong, so you're wrong. In the monster realm, you meet like nuanced characters. We met Red Ghost Baby, our favorite character we all love that we're going to wear t-shirts of.
Red
Yeah.
Ghost.
No.
Red Ghost. Red Ghost is
Played
a
by
cool
Jack
character.
Black. That's not real.
I know it's not real, but he should have been.
Be
Yeah.
great.
So
When they do the English translations
does
for
all the hype.
Netflix, they need to get him to play.
They just mocap him, just a bunch of high kicks.
Yes.
Red Ghost is a purely CG character that's
What?
like a red devil baby that acts like Jack Black and Nacho Libre.
I thought it was like going to be an
Much.
Oni, but I guess Oni are Japanese, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. But
So
it seems
it's demon or devil.
similar-ish.
It's just, and it gets bigger when you hurt it.
yeah, it's kind of
It's
like
just-
the Hulk.
Yeah, kind of like the
Mhm.
Hulk. He gets mad and gets bigger, but then it shrinks down after a little while when you hit it on the nose. You'll go bump.
It's a little guy. He's a weird little guy.
He's a
And
weird
that's
little
cool.
guy.
And he knew that his life was spared, and that's why he said, "I will follow
Don't
you now."
spoil
Yeah,
I'm
Dan.
not spoiling much, but it's cool because
much.
This is
it's-
how we get
it's-
from Act 1 to Act 2. Dan.
It's a ragtag group of characters who are drawn together because of something that happened that they had no control over. I mean, come on. I mean, that's a basic story.
There's a
trope.
vein bulging on Dan's forehead because he can't spoil as much as he wants.
So
really
is
want
this
to, but-
is this like a buddy movie then? Like,
Yes, it is. It's totally a buddy movie.
like
What? It's not
ragtag
quite a
collection of
hero's
buddies?
journey.
Yeah.
'Cause
I would say I think part of it is it's a foreign film,
Mhm.
so that the kind of the story structure is a little different than what we're used to,
right.
but it's not so foreign that you can't enjoy and follow the film.
No, yeah, there's tropes that you're going to recognize if you've watched any movie ever. And that doesn't take away from the enjoyment. It just lets you know, oh, I understand what this is, and I see what's happening. This is great. Also, there's a fully CG thing happening, and that's cool.
And it looks fake. It doesn't. They're not trying to make it look real.
Yeah, it's all fiction, Dan. There aren't
know.
actually
It's
little
fantasy,
red monsters.
high
I mean,
fantasy.
there
So is
is-
this high fantasy or is this?
This is a lot of
Um,
CGI in this movie, though, guys. Like it's
Lots.
a lot of CGI. And,
well,
you
And
know,
and some of the CGI I would say is almost cartoonish,
yeah,
and some of it's really good.
yeah.
And
but isn't it being cartoonish part of the whole thing? I kept feeling like I was hearing the very short haiku versions. I know it's not the right region, but like very short poem versions of these stories of like small red demon becomes big, gets small, furry creatures robbing people, revealed to not be demon. Like I felt like I was seeing a fleshed out version of like a short poem. And I thought the cartoony nature was fitting. I thought it made sense. I liked it.
I think they did it like to add a lot of humor. Like I mean, there are definitely
to-
which is
to
like
light-
which feels like
lighten the
Chinese,
mood.
yeah, it feels like the Chinese film style.
And I think the more cartoonish characters kind of telegraphed that they were good guys, even when you didn't know whether they were good guys or not.
Oh,
For example, the ferrets
Yeah.
are very cartoonish.
Even the one with
And-
the messed up eyes.
Yeah.
He's like the most quote unquote tough one of the trio.
little Scarface there.
Scarface
yeah.
ferret.
Don't mess with them.
Yeah.
And the turtle and frog
Oh yeah.
critters.
Yeah, like
They're a little more cartoonish, but a little more serious.
They felt like the rock monster from Neverending Story. Like it's like a fictional thing, but it's kind of upsetting to look at a little bit. But I mean, I thought the CG on that looked good. Like it looked like a thing. I knew it wasn't standing there,
Yeah.
but just the detail was good.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about live action then when they're actually like humanoid figures that are fighting and you can tell that this is not CG'd. It's like they're actually doing the wire work and the jumping and the moving. Because there's probably a half a dozen, about 6 or so or 7 or so actual good long fight scenes that occur, and some of them have little pauses, and it's always interesting because it's like that's kind of built into the script. It's like you gotta fight for 4 seconds or 10 seconds because it's really hard, and then you gotta stop and take a short break, and then you do it again, and then
you
take a
can
short
cut
break.
to another ankle.
The heroics here, I think, are like elevated beyond like superhuman, because like the people fighting are like flying through the air, and
but it's so similar to other martial arts tropes.
Yeah.
If you've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you've seen similar.
The wire work where they fly. I was thinking, RRR, some of the Indian movies we've watched, but it also, to me, like that's a step away from like what a normal human protagonist would be able to do. Like it is beyond what any
these are heroes doing heroic things.
Yeah
in a heroic setting.
I would also like to mention that people who are fans of high fantasy will see some really neat concepts in terms of magic and kind of fantasy conceptions in this film.
Creature design.
And they do the card spells, which is an Asian thing, where they have like a spell on a piece of paper, they stick it to what they need to, and that enacts the spell, which I forgot was a thing, and I want to really incorporate into ongoing like D&D games and everything. Like that's a really interesting way to use magic.
I mean, they don't stick it. They write the spell, and then the thing flies to where it needs to fly. Like like a butterfly.
It stuck to one thing.
I mean,
I won't say what. I just vanish.
So you'll see. I was like, oh, dude, they're doing hand weaving like Naruto. They've got
is it called hand weaving?
That's what's typically.
I've never known what it was
that's
called.
how it's referenced.
It's not jazz hands.
No, you spell what you want to do. There's certain. It's like American Sign Language. There's certain combinations of things that can spell something.
Yeah, you move your hands in certain ways to make the spell happen.
So it's and we were saying there's like somatic. There's verbal,
like a gesture you do to make the spell happen,
and then as a physical component is needed. And his was the paper to get some of them to work. And I thought that was really cool because he learned them when he was at the temple, when he was learning to become a guard, and then learn more powerful. And
he also used hand gestures earlier on as well. And then one person used a staff. There was different kinds of like magic foci. This movie, I thought the fantasy was really cool. Like I really liked seeing different styles and everyone having their own.
There was like a very specific natural magic user. And her spells were very different than other people. She turned herself into like this protective tree, and she sent off a bunch of butterflies to carry something off.
Very, again, we're all American and all play D&D, very druid kind of coded.
But the butterflies are also a distraction in combat because it swarmed an enemy's face, preventing them from being able to do anything.
Correct. So really well played. I because we were all sitting here going like, oh, that's like trying to compare it to the different platforms and games that we are familiar with.
I kept thinking how many actions it is in Pathfinder, like 2, 3, 1, 2, 1.
Yeah, and so if you've seen the previews to this, you'd see that there's a giant hand, and you learn its history and its backstory, and it's not the thing from the TV shows.
From the Addams Family?
The Addams Family. It's not like that.
It's not a subtly creepy thing. It's a very creepy thing.
It's upsetting.
And it's kind of cool that they tell a story of it. You get its origin story, and then it's actually kind of badass. I mean, it takes a lot of damage and keeps running around.
I do appreciate it gets a backstory. I do appreciate that because a lot of American films will just drop that in there because some executive said this has to be in here. Yeah. Well, you've already written the thing. We'll put it in there, and now you see like a big hand. You're like, I don't know why this is here.
No, the story was really well constructed. I mean, where did the hand come from? But then also kind of going back to this idea of layering truth upon truth.
Yeah.
And the viewer gets a deeper understanding through each time. Some of the beginning events are revisited. I mean, this is a really carefully constructed and well done story.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's not a super deep story. It's like
that's fine. Like not every movie has to be Citizen Kane, where you try to delve into the psyche and emotional state of every person.
Right.
But like, it's kind of a hero's journey. It's not Joseph Campbell's hero's journey.
I liked this movie, but I mean the villains here did feel a little flat to me. Like I mean,
they're one dimensional.
Yeah, not a lot of depth to a lot of these characters.
Right.
The one just wanted power.
Yeah.
Period.
Like maybe two to three characters got some depth, and even then it wasn't crazy deep.
Yeah.
But Dan, you were telling me that's kind of Chinese cinema right now. They get either like big grand CGI fest or like heavy soap operas.
Yeah.
Like kind of what they're.
Yeah, I mean that's your give or take. I mean, because this is done by the Chinese film, so it's a state. This is a government issued device,
state-run studio.
Yes. So everything was cleared. There's zero politics involved in this film. It's just a fantasy story that's based in history that isn't. I don't even know what pantheon or what if it actually is part of an actual human historical thing, or it's just completely made up because a lot of the stuff was made up.
Well, I mentioned like watching about halfway through, I kind of want to research and find out what is like based on Chinese lore. Because some of it, if it is like I saw what I thought were kappa, but I remember those are Japanese. I'm curious about those turtle things. Are they part of like Japanese folklore or not?
I mean, I would say a lot of it felt like American fantasy, high fantasy tropes translated through a different culture.
Yeah, I can see that
because a lot of it felt so familiar, so familiar to all the role playing games that the four of us like to play, that it didn't feel real foreign. It was just things were kind of new and inventive.
But the people that made this movie are familiar with J.R.R. Tolkien, though. It's
Well, I mean, it's all getting mushy at this point in cinema. I mean, everybody's stealing from everybody. I didn't see anything original in this. And so that's a question. Did you see anything that would strike you as original?
I mean, the hand seems further fleshed out and embellished in a way I haven't seen before.
Okay.
I just had a weird case of deja vu, you asking that. 2, the end of Super Smash Brothers has a similar hand thing. So I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anything that seems whole cloth new or fresh. I also don't know Chinese cinema that well. I'm on a quest to try and like re-educate myself on like American cinema through like the 80s and 90s, but like I haven't watched a lot of this, and that's why it seemed so novel. I was like, okay, I think this structure's a little different. I'm into it.
I mean, I don't know. There's anything about the sci-fi and fantasy elements here that like could not have been in Labyrinth or could not have been in some of like the 80s or even more recent fantasy films that came out of our own culture.
I mean, I referenced this is a South Korean is a K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yes.
Yeah, that's South Korea.
I referenced that, and there's a character thing that seems similar that I noticed like, I recognize this trope.
When they start singing in battle? No.
Yeah. When they're on that airplane.
I'll say the first time we meet the ferrets, the original monster reminds me a lot of something from Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke or
what are those things called? Like the no face?
Yeah, no face.
No face. Yeah.
It kind of looked like No Face a little bit.
Yeah.
But it had 3 heads.
Well, but then 2 like embedded in its torso. That made it creepier.
I know.
It also just had a bunch of weapons.
But that very first listener, this is in the first 20 minutes of the movie. We have an intro fight where we see this apparent demon. And it's not everything that it seems, but it's moving so fast, going so quickly. And for me, that felt like,
they sped it up.
They sped it up. The CGI is going a little too fast.
And it was a little herky-jerky, but we find out there is a reason for
that. I didn't connect it to the reason for that. I was like, the CGI here is kind of like a little
fumbling.
See, I love the Spider-Verse animated film Sony put out, and it looks similar to that. They have their animation style is kind of herky-jerky, skipping frames to add to the effect. So I saw and thought, they're doing that.
I mean, it was a good fight. It was
it was a fun scene.
But I do prefer fights where it's like the physics would legitimately work for what a human body is able to do.
Yeah,
or if there was even a demon that was in that configuration of that type of body type, like that it would be able to move in the way that it's purported. To me, it's like asking me to suspend disbelief like 1 or 2 steps a little bit farther than I really would want. And I'd say like, I liked that fight scene. I liked the movie overall. This is, I guess, kind of a side criticism of like one part of it that didn't really land for me.
That's fair. Hey, Dan.
I have a question about that fight.
Kicking out the podcast. No.
So he uses firebolt.
Yeah, he uses
and does not use magic throughout the whole rest of the movie.
Maybe he exhausted his spells.
Well, they took items from him, and maybe those items imbued him with the ability to do the spells.
And he mentions one spell later on. I'm thinking, is that the one he has?
Yeah, that one spell.
Similar to Discworld, where wizards know one spell. You have to utter on their deathbed anyway.
And that was one. It's not necessarily a continuity thing, but I wonder why that story choice was made, because she sure could have used that at the end big fight scene that took half an hour.
Well, they don't explain the lore enough.
There's no power scaling. There's no.
You have to sort of infer what's going on, and that's why I feel like it's a quote unquote classic hero story. You're not stressing, like in Beowulf, you're not stressing about how he rips off Grendel's arm, then swims down so far. You're just going, this guy's a big time hero. He just murdered a monster. He's going to kill the monster's mom. He's a big time. This guy's great. You never ask about like what's he eating? What's he doing to strength train?
Yeah, what's the mechanics of Beowulf's like fighting training regimen?
Yeah, and I felt like that with this, where I don't know how they do what they're doing. I'm not sure what the rules are, but I'm having a good time watching it.
Yeah.
This isn't like a top 10 film or anything, but it was a fun time.
Yeah. I don't think it was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Like, he was a guard. He was a royal guard. He should have some skills and abilities.
You think demons are just walking around all over?
I know, right? And it's just like, at what point do you learn how to use spells? Because it's like monsters can do this innately, and the main protagonist is half monster, half human, which is known, and he can use some things. And then the chief, she's obviously all human and she can use them. And then the guard can use it. So it's kind of like, I'm confused as to that's part of it. I wish they, like, when they were flashing back and telling his story, shown how he learned any of that. And that would have just cured me of that question.
Well, he did learn the protection spell
at the temple. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but so you have to chant and learn it. But it's like
this. I mean, he was in the temple from when he was like 6 years old. I don't think he learned it before then.
I'll ask you this, Dan. If you want that scene, I would say you need to remove something else, because it's already a 2-hour movie. What scene would you take out?
Oh, there's all kinds of shit that's like stretched.
But without, if you can try not to spoil like any particular scene you have in mind that you want to pull to make place for the training, I guess, training montage?
Yeah, like the middle, like the second act fight scene where it's, they don't know that they have what they have, and there's fighting going on and this and that. There's some really stretched out. Yeah, there's some stretched out scenes where it's like, you don't need to tell this much.
The two protagonists drinking together.
Yeah.
That scene, I don't know what it did for the movie.
We got to watch a red ghost baby wander around sleepy.
Yeah. That was them bonding. That was them finally forming this. They started out in this adversarial relationship.
Yeah.
And Qing Ming and Yuda Boya. Like, that drinking scene is when they kind of put aside their differences a little bit and feel more comfortable working together. Actually, that's one of the parts of the movie I thought was better, because it was like these relationships are developing and something real is happening that's not just a CGI romp.
You probably could have taken out the scene where Yuan Boya is fed a thing, and then you see where that food comes from.
Oh, yeah.
I take I would say little snippets of stuff like that. Like, that's delightful.
Yeah.
But more just like, oh, this is silly, haha. You probably just take sections of scene placement, maybe.
The world building a little bit.
Well, kind of. I love world building, but like bits that you don't necessarily need.
Right.
Yeah.
If you had the Blu-ray, you'd watch the animatics. They say, we wanted to have this, but we didn't have time.
I don't know that there's any one scene, but like every teleportation spell was
like a while to happen.
Teleportation ain't easy.
I mean, but those teleports effects could have been like 50% as long.
I'd agree with that.
And you would end up saving a minute through the whole movie.
Yeah,
so that's 1 minute of runtime.
There you go.
To show a training montage.
Yes.
Correct.
With Eye of the Tiger playing.
Yes.
I would do that.
Inexplicably in this Asian Chinese movie.
So from a standpoint of the visuals, the traditional
10 out of 10, no notes.
I mean, it was hard to tell. Not really hard, but sometimes it was like, okay, they're walking up steps in this giant temple. Was that them mocapped walking up steps, or was that all just 100% CG? I couldn't tell sometimes. And like the scenes in the when they're walking through a market, that seems like that could be real, because you didn't actually see a lot of monster faces. You saw a lot of people wearing masks and hats and
weird clothes,
and
chaos, and Chinese state cinema. They can probably get 1,000 extras on stage
without even blinking.
Yeah.
So my question would be: did that help or hinder the film?
I don't think it did either. It's just part of the movie. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would say shooting something in reality is always better than CG.
I agree.
Okay.
I'm also a snob. I'm a reality snob.
I typically agree with that, but I don't know enough about Chinese cinema, so I abstain.
So the big fight scene that takes the last half hour of the film, is that how much of that is mocap or real.
Oh no, that all actually happened.
That
man went through a dark ritual. They did awful magics and they just made it happen.
And there was so some of the scenes where like he's talking to the master that wants to take over everything in this dark space in his head.
The big bad guy of the
big bad guy. And I'm like, some of those scenes way too long. I'm like, really, just say what you need to say. You don't have to stretch it out for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's just a dude on green screen running around reciting lines
in puddles of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, the puddles were there.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think to answer my own question, I would agree with you, Blake. It doesn't hurt or hinder, but I think that there's benefits to each.
Yeah.
And I think the more live action you can do, the more and that's why like a lot of the wire work in traditional kung fu movies don't use green. It's all wire work and just like you just have to believe that they can fly.
Dude, I love a Jackie Chan movie. Watch that man fly through a ladder and just beat up dudes with a stool. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Not a drop of CG in those bad boys.
No.
Yeah, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting things today.
So, if this movie was to be made in the United States, what would be different?
Pixar would have to make it, or Illumination. There would be little yellow dudes running around.
I'd say instead of that, there'd be a lot more of characters stating their intention out loud.
I am going to stop you from doing this thing
because I have this background. Like they're going to say it a lot.
A lot of exposition.
There's a running concern with Netflix where executives keep telling showrunners, "Hey, make the characters explain what they're doing, so people look at their phones to know what's going on." And the good writers are telling them, "No, if they're going to do dishes or look at their phones while they're watching a show, my show's not for them."
Right.
So there'd be a lot more like stating, "I'm going to fight this evil because I was abandoned as a child, and I have to do this to save face for my group."
Or I want to be enlisted with the city guard, and
there's also be a lot more like reacting to weird little creatures with, what are you kidding? Like a lot of just bad one-liners,
like little punchy one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
That seems kind of like that's not a substantive change aside from like the inserting exposition would break up the flow and maybe add 10 minutes to this 2-hour movie.
I would say the secondary female protagonist would be a lot more moony-eyed.
Probably Scarlett Johansson.
and there would be definitely a much more front-loaded romance.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they probably would have
in the secondary protagonist.
They probably would have kissed at some point.
Like will they, won't they tension would be elevated quite a bit.
Some executive would demand they have to kiss at the end, otherwise what's the point? Like, brother, if you've seen Pacific Rim, they don't, and it's amazing.
Good drama.
Also that it would have Glenn Powell for some reason.
So how predictable was the music scoring?
I didn't even notice. I mean,
I didn't either.
I was
thinking about it while we were talking about something else.
Dan, you'll have to talk about it because I didn't notice
a whole lot of flute.
Oh, and there was the
Chinese
diegetic
flute,
and then the diegetic guitar
playing the
side guitar,
playing the Chinese stringed instruments.
When we saw the courtyard for the first time, I actually said, "Oh, we know these are the good guys because the music is telling us that."
Correct.
So I did notice the music when we were watching the film.
Forgot about that. That was a good call.
Yeah, but I was not wrong, right?
You weren't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a good call. Yeah. You nailed it.
On point.
The conductor conveyed what they wanted you to know.
Yeah.
Like in Star Wars.
Well, it's most movies. I think they'll use music.
No movies ever use music.
I mean,
to enhance the emotion.
But this did it well. I feel like, the score was good. It's supported.
Subtle enough.
Yeah, it was subtle enough. It didn't really get in the way. I did notice it was pretty. The music was pretty a couple times. But, if I had to like hum it now, I'd be at a loss. Like, oh, man.
Oh, I think I got it. Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da. Nope, that ain't it.
That was copyright.
Love Shack. Da-na-na-na-na.
All right.
I can get this.
So other things about the film that I think are merit at least a little discussion would be who was right and who was wrong. Did the monsters deserve to exist? Hold on. That's not the right question to ask. The right question to ask is, do the monsters deserve to invade the human realm? And that answer is no.
Yes.
No. They don't. The monsters have their own little realm. Humans have their own little realm, and they can stay separate.
Oh, so Aaron, they're separate but equal?
They're separate but equal? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're not equal. They're just separate.
Okay.
So you really should kick Aaron off the podcast.
All right.
He has some views I don't care for.
I mean, no, but the monsters have their own dominion and domain for a historic lore-related reason.
Yeah.
And and there's
According to the introduction, everything seemed pretty copacetic. They're like, you got your space, we got our space.
The thing that I didn't understand is like as they were leaving the city, I can't remember, was it Yingming City? Yanban? They were leaving the city. There was a sign of like, outside the city's dangerous, watch out for monsters. And then you had to travel quite a bit to even get to like the right sort of pathway to the monster realm.
Well, that's scaremongering.
Yeah, it's like the nanny state is warning you about this wilderness that's perfectly safe.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to travel like maybe I just said it a moment ago.
Is that the yang of the yin?
No, it's not. It's nothing like that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Is it dark outside? Is it evil out there? And we're in here, we're safe?
Oh, it was safe. It was safe until different protections were lapsed and undone, and different pathways were opened.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and the two worlds kind of existed safely separately.
Yeah.
And it was only when someone tried to
change the
force
status quo.
control over both.
But changing the balance of the power between the city of humans, the wilderness, and then the city of monsters.
Again, are the monsters bad or not? I don't think the monsters are the bad ones. I think the evil big bad who's trying to force them to do his bidding is the evil one. I don't think the monsters are the bad ones.
No, monsters got kicked out. They got kicked out for a reason. It's like the Nazi bar problem. You have one that comes in and they're so nice, they're fine and whatever, and they don't say anything, and then you let them stick around. Then they bring their friends, and their friends are a bigger problem. And then suddenly you're running a Nazi bar because you didn't kick the first one out when you should have. The monsters are the same way.
I disagree. I was going to say this feels more like how in Star Wars, the original, the new 3 prequels or whatever, pointed out like you need balance. There's a point where there was mostly Jedi, a couple of Sith, and then things went haywire, and there's mostly Sith, a couple of Jedi. Ideally, you have an even number. It's like when you do your taxes, you shouldn't be paying or being paid anything. You should have an even balance. Things should just be in balance, and one character said, I don't want balance, I want to have everything.
I think we agree. I think because there's a city.
I'm not saying the monsters are Nazis.
And then, well, but the monsters shouldn't be in the human city. Like the monsters have their own city.
Yeah, but they can, I don't know.
Can't they live together?
And there's a buffer state between.
The forest people all live together fine. That guy's a person and there's monsters.
He was kicked out. Well, he had to leave the temple. The main character left the temple. After 7 years, he's in the forest. He can't go to the monster realm because he's not a monster. He's only half monster.
Well, he's half human and half monster and doesn't feel that he belongs anywhere.
He doesn't belong on either side. So
he's just Blade and he's a hero.
And he takes in all of the strays and they become
everybody else who doesn't belong.
Everyone else who doesn't belong joins
because they need a place too.
They need a home.
So Aaron, you're speaking to someone who was bullied as a youth. Am I not allowed to belong somewhere?
No, you belong somewhere.
So
you belong with the other bullied people over on the other side of the rail track, on the railroad track on the other side of town.
I'm going to smash your equipment, Dan.
I know, right?
No,
it's upsetting.
The monsters were bullying and trying to take over humans. That's why
were just hanging out.
They were following orders.
That's the Nazi argument, Dan.
For the love of God, please go to beers.
Okay, so
costumes were really
cool.
I
don't care about the costumes.
The music was really good.
I'm just going to sit back.
We enjoyed it. You'll enjoy it if you watch it.
Okay.
So,
what do you think about the idea in the film where everybody was somebody else's familiar? There was like this hierarchy that I was a little uncomfortable with.
Agreed.
People pledging allegiance.
Yeah, to me,
it seems like
slavery.
Basically.
Yeah. And it there was a point where someone released everybody from their bond,
and they did seem sad about that when it happened.
They seemed sad about it. Yeah.
But and maybe that's that they were losing protection. They were losing like their home
and their purpose. Their purpose was to serve the greater Communist Party.
But I think maybe this is something
we should seize the means of production. You're right, Brian.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're in like the most individualistic culture that humanity has ever had. We think of ourselves as the primary, decision maker in our lives and all that.
No, I don't.
And maybe there's other ways of seeing it that I can't I'm not trying to argue for slavery here, of course, but if you're part of a community and if you're part of a collective, that has value. And if you are under the protection of somebody that's teaching you, but also like housing and feeding you, like that has value.
So you're working for room and board.
Everything that you produce is owned by the company. You live in company housing, and you
a lot like the Chinese government.
Shop at the company store or whatever. But I think that's maybe why they were sad when they were released. But it is a kind of an uncomfortable dynamic.
I guess my question is, from this film, does it feel like they are in support of that idea, or is this a subtle
I think they're 100% supporting
rebellion against that idea?
I think all three poles, like the city of humans, the animals in the wilderness, and the monsters, all have this sort of feudal system, this feudal hierarchical system where you pledge to somebody stronger than you.
Yeah.
And it's sort of taken for granted, I think, that that's the way the world is, maybe in this time and place. But I think it's accepted. I don't think it really comments of like, is it pro this or anti this? Because there's no faction that's operating differently.
Right. Well, I mean, I haven't seen enough Chinese cinema to see if this is a normal theme, but it is certainly a strong theme in this film.
It is.
Of who owes allegiance to who. And what does that exactly mean? What does that pledge mean?
And without spoilers, this comes up in a very meaningful way in Act 3. Like there's sort of a plot twist in Act 3 based on this idea as a pivot. Like it's,
can you accept the greater evil? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, and
look at Aaron, because Aaron defended Nazis.
And there,
you have to kick the Nazis out of the bar, otherwise you get a Nazi bar.
There's also a scene where
I think it's a different scenario
where several people are released of their bonds, but they decide to
fight anyway.
Do the same thing anyway.
As a disorganized collective, as like hippies.
I don't know if they're
Dan, you can feel free to cut this out if you want. I thought they were released after everything happened.
No, they were released on the bridge.
Yeah, after he defeated the guy. And he said, you guys can go. Was it before?
It was before.
Oh, okay.
And they said, we're going to stay and fight.
Oh, okay.
And then
I genuinely thought it happened after.
And then
so he showed up, they started fighting, he released them, and then he got knocked down and then came back.
No, I thought didn't he release them after he came back with white hair?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so it was after the fight.
Yeah, but
I don't love how I can't remember when that happened.
No, because one of the dryads said that if he dies, you guys should all disperse, so you all don't.
Well, yeah, that. But then he
came back after that.
Yeah. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when he released their familiar status.
Yeah,
when he let go of their chains that made them magically bound to him. That's what I'm talking about.
But they chose to stay and fight.
That happened, but the bound happening after the fight, though. It's when he decided he's going to stay with the monsters, so he let them all go after, the purple bands went away.
I think some of the confusion.
I'm not trying to cause problems. I'm genuinely
there was fighting first.
Yeah,
and then Qing Ming showed up.
Yeah.
There was more fighting. He departed. And then the Dryad said, like, oh, you guys are released. He doesn't want you all to. And then he came back. And then he released then. And then there was more fighting.
Was there more fighting after that?
It was a fight sandwich.
Jesus.
There was fighting between.
It's a fight lasagna.
There was a half hour of fighting.
Yes.
Hachi Machi.
And it was all CGI fighting.
Seriously,
guys.
thought that was after.
No.
As him saying, I'm going to go back live with the monsters. You guys are good to.
So this is super spoilerific. We should.
No, that's why I kept telling Dan, feel free to cut whatever needs to get chopped. I wanted to clarify with you guys because I was beginning to get upset because I thought you were gaslighting.
It was in the middle of the fight sandwich. It was the meat of the fight sandwich.
Fight lasagna.
All right, they drank.
All right, so there was
there was the drinking scene.
There was
let's talk about the eyeballs.
The weird eyeball,
Dan,
it's a fish eye.
I was doing a bit. Don't say the stupid bit.
Yeah, the costumes.
Ignore me for once.
The costumes are cool. The jewelry she was going to buy was.
I don't care about the costumes. I didn't care about most.
That one girl's hat was really nice.
Yeah.
So we had a Ruse Brewing ultraviolet Czech style lager at the beginning of the film.
We did. It was.
I can't be here all night.
It was refreshing and crisp.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I know this is kind of a dragging on episode.
Ryan,
we're going to try to get through the rest of this. So we watched this interesting film that's Chinese, came out in 2021 called the Yinyang Master. They consumed a little bit of alcohol in it. And as earlier mentioned, we did stop at beer mongers in Southeast Portland and picked up a couple of beers to enjoy while we watched the film.
Shout out beer mongers.
Yep. So as Blake just mentioned, the Altar of Light Czech style lager, Ruse Brewing, 5%, features a balanced blend of floor malted Bohemian Pilsner and Vienna malts, finished with Styrian Celia and Saaz hops, which makes it, the Saaz hops are more the Czech thing, for like a refreshing, light, biscuity, and spicy flavor. I thought this one had a little bit more alpha acidity and bite to it than most Czech lagers typically have, but that was okay. It was light and refreshing. It didn't distract, but it did have a little bit of bite in it, though.
I didn't catch any bite.
I did.
I thought it was pretty good. It tastes like pretty much every other Czech lager I've had.
I would say, crisp, but not, maybe bright, but not bitey.
Yeah. I would say as it warmed up, it had a little more hop flavor, a little more bitterness to it.
Though Dan is a decorated beer judge, so I might not be catching what his palate's catching.
Well, like I said,
I'm not being sarcastic.
Hop flavor. There's some spiciness in the hop flavor from the Saaz, but there was, I think, a little bit of bite to me that just like astringency, a dry astringency on the back, and that's it's supposed to have that. So I wasn't complaining. I'm just saying it was very noticeable to me.
Interesting.
Which is cool. Aaron, any thoughts on the beer?
This bedazzling, bright, premium pale lager was brewed with floor malted Pilsner malt and a brilliant blend of select European hops. Sit back, relax, and embrace the bubbles.
It's crazy that Aaron just had that off the top of his head.
I know, right? Right on the can.
Sometimes it just comes to me. The muse really, the marketing muse really.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Through the wall.
See you later, marketing.
The little ferret lady.
I liked this beer.
Yeah, it was nice. I picked it out simply because of the name and the design on the can. Looks kind of inspiring. And
it's
I was
an
like,
owl shooting eye beams.
Yeah, it's like it looked cool. I was like, oh, so fantasy. I knew this was, going to be a lot of animation, and it's like, oh, that looks like something out of an animated scene.
Yeah, there's also kind of a Buddha hand around a lotus flower behind the owl.
Kind of cool.
So right. I thought it matched up pretty well. It didn't distract me. It matched so well with the movie. We all kind of forgot how long the movie had been going, and realized, we should probably switch to the second one. So pretty good. I think a pretty good thumbs up towards any Czech style lager with at least the first half of Yinyang Master.
Yeah. All right. If no other comments, we can move on to beer number 2, which was Rain Shadow Black Lager from Single Hill Brewing, which is out of Yakima, Washington.
We've had a few black lagers before, right?
We have. So this one would be classified more of a Schwarzbier because of the malt profile that it has. So thin, dry, a little bitter.
And that's based on the hops?
Yeah, that's going to be the hops and how much of the malt roast there is that shows up. This doesn't have a lot of roast, but you can tell it's there. 4.6%, 25 IBU, kind of long-lasting pale khaki head because we poured them into glasses, and I like the head retention was good on both. Mm-hmm. Was nice to see that. Kind of dark brown in color. We poured it and we're like, oh, this is kind of black. Well, it's kind of dark in here when we were watching the movie, but still, I was looking forward to tasting it. Aaron, is there anything in there in the can that you can
or off the top of your head as we did before?
A dark beer for sunny days when you need a little shade in your life. Rain Shadow has all the roasty, toasty flavors you love in a dark beer while staying crisp and easy.
I'd agree with the toasty. It did have a nice roasty flavor. This tasted like when a porter doesn't go too heavy on the flavors. Like it's got some flavor, some malt, but it's not heavy. And I'm drinking a meal. Yeah. I don't usually love a black lager because I visually expect a lager to be amber or golden.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't just a lager. This is a Schwarzbier, which is going to have enough roast and, well, not roast, but enough toastiness to it. And, you know the grains are there. It's kind of like a burnt grain taste. Mm-hmm. Appreciate that. They did a good job on this one. I really enjoy it. Brian, thoughts on this one?
I really enjoyed this. I thought it matched, when we started drinking it, it matched the film really well.
The scene that came up was oh, wow.
It was right when kind of the dark forces were gathering to overthrow humanity.
The end of Act 3's biggest punch.
Yeah, and it worked very well. The aroma, to me, was almost a little ashy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Dan can explain that better. But the fires of hell coming up. Not that that's what literally was going on in the screen, but The aromatics really kind of match what was going on.
Yeah.
Brian,
But it was a flavorful, easy drinking beer.
Brian was watching Disney Hercules on his phone, so when Hades shows up, he's like, "Oh, it's Hisashi."
Yeah.
The can art also kind of matches the vibe. The main villain has similar visual cues as the can art with this scary horned skeleton
Horns like skull.
with a missing tooth on there.
Yeah, but also yellow glowing eyes. Like that skull is occupied right now, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not vacant. No vacancy.
Yeah. Cool. So check this beer out if you can find it. This was, again, acquired at Beer Mongers. Single Hill's available at some of the other can and package shops around town. They do make it down here to Portland, so if you can find them, check them out. I really did enjoy both beers. Didn't really think there was issues with them. The movie was interesting, is a little long, and like we had mentioned, there's probably some scenes you could, you don't necessarily need to skip through them, but they could have cut some few things down a little bit. But I think it drew our attention the whole time. None of us fell asleep while we were watching it, so that was a good sign.
I mean, it's better than like none of us fell asleep. I'd rate this a solid like 6.5, 7. Like it was enjoyable. It was fun.
Yeah.
A little too much CGI driven action for my tastes. I like a little more character depth and emotional punch.
Yeah.
But it's a fun movie. I'm glad I watched it.
A good family film.
Yeah.
If you want an entertaining film with the family.
Yeah.
I commented at one point, all the blood was CG except for one shot that had then come up after I said it. And it wasn't really gratuitous.
No, it's just someone got wounded.
No
and they're
gratuitous violence, no sex, no dirty language.
I mean,
no real hard concepts.
It's like
Chinese state media.
There's some like fantasy creepiness, if I could say it that way.
Yeah,
some
that
stuff
makes
that's grotesque, but it's not like the violence is all fairly also like fantasy light.
Yep.
Frankly, you could see some similar imagery in shows like Gravity Falls. Like there's other like younger media. I've watched the entire show back and forth. There are some upsetting visuals. That Disney allowed because of just standards and practices.
like Goosebumps.
Similar to Goosebumps, like there's just upsetting visual stuff, but it's not going to be like nightmare inducing. It's not like watching Hellraiser
or Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Not creepy weird.
Eyeballs on hands.
Yeah, that's creepy weird.
No, we have other stuff on hands.
It's a running around giant hand though, so yeah.
What?
Spoilers, Dan.
I was watching Gravity Falls on my phone.
You can just watch the preview and you get that. So thumbs up from everybody, I think.
I agree with Aaron. I'd say 7 to 8 stars.
Make sure you get the subtitles. Make sure you have English subtitles if you're watching. If you
want a challenge, put on French or Swedish or Russian.
We did have a great time in like watching the first 5 minutes a couple times, like translating the Swedish or French that we were saying,
and trying to catch the story.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was
Yeah, I fully misread the context. So I'm glad we got English when we went back. I thought, oh yeah, I had that fully wrong.
Yeah, who squished the cheese, man?
Oh God, we never found out.
All right, so thanks for hanging out, everybody. This has been a great film to watch. Some good beers, so we kind of lucked out on that. And as always, the opinions expressed during the taping of this recording of those are the hosts. Thank you much for chilling and hanging. And
make sure you hydrate, or you're going to dehydrate. And then Dan put in like a big CG hand, like smashing a dragon, and then like a spirit bomb from Dragon Ball Z just sort of happening.
Yeah.
Just fit all that in the audio somewhere.
How do you get a visual into an audio format?
I don't know, Aaron. I'm not the producer. That's Dan's job.
All right. Well, listener, thank you for joining. This is Aaron. Maintain your fingernails in case your hand becomes something bigger and more that it actually is. You'll be glad you did.
Mm-hmm. This is Blake saying bye. I guess I thought I was done with the hydrate thing.
Hey everybody, this is Brian. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.